Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Courtney with Doodle Dollars. Today I am going to be sharing a quick little tutorial on how I make savings challenges in Canva. Okay, so I already have some pictures loaded up here. This cute little set that I found on Creative Fabrica of these capybaras. So I'm gonna grab these, not that one, these ones. So I have loaded these in my Canva in this little upload thing. I just downloaded it to my computer, uploaded it to Canva, and we're gonna resize these a little bit just to make them more appropriate for the challenges that we're making. All right, so next I'm going to grab my basic square shape over here in Elements and then Shapes. I'm going to make this 3.25 by 6. That's just the size that I usually do. I feel like it fits in the envelope really well and it gives me enough space to do things on here and all of that good stuff. I changed the background to be clear and I'm changing the border to just black for now, but a 10-point weight. And now I have my basic shape to work with. So let's get started. So I'm going to place this guy here first. I'm going to duplicate this shape by hitting Control D, and then I'm going to place my second image here. I'm going to make sure that it's in the middle. You can see that pink line there tells me it's in the middle of the box. And then I'm going to make sure that it's a similar size to this one right here. Okay. Then I'm going to put my third box down here. You can see that they are all the same distance from each other in the middle there, which is good. I try to keep them lined up here at the top, so if you're using like the Fiskars cutting like straight line cutter, I don't know what it's called officially, but you know, the trimmer, you can do one cut and they're all nice and neatly lined up. Okay, so there are my three main characters, the MCs if you will. And we're going to go back to upload. So this is why I like Creative Fabrica, because I found all of these images that I'm scrolling through right now were in one set on Creative Fabrica. And because they're all together in the same set, they have the same aesthetic. They have the same colors. They have the same, you know, vibe going on here, which I feel like is kind of a groovy, I don't know, maybe like a kawaii vibe. But, you know, playful, fun colors. So I know that any of these images are going to coordinate really well with these three images that I have already in my challenges. So for this first one, we're just going to do a challenge where each item is a set amount. The person who is doing the challenge can decide what the amount is to save a total of whatever they want. I'll show you again with this second row what I'm doing here. So I had my image, I scaled it down to size, then I'm going to put it here and I'm hitting Control D to duplicate, Control D, Control D to get 4 of them in a row. Then I'm hitting select while I click on each image. I'm going to go to position and make sure that they are tidied. If they're already tidied, so if they're all already aligned vertically and horizontally, then you won't be able to click on tidy up because they're already tidied. So I'm going to group them together. I'm going to group these ones together. And then I'm going to grab this whole thing and I'm going to duplicate that. And now it's duplicating all 4 of them together. So now I have 4 rows, and I think that's about all I want. So that I have space at the top and some space above my image. So I'm going to put these a little bit further down here. I'm going to place these exactly where I want the bottom ones to go, and I'm going to place the top ones exactly where I want the top ones to go. Don't worry too much about the spacing of the other ones because we're going to use tidy up to space them all perfectly. Okay, so now that I have some space at the top here for, you know, the writing, and this is where I want my bottom row. So I'm going to select all of these, again using shift. I'm holding shift down and clicking on all of them, and then I'm going to hit tidy up, and it's going to space them evenly for us. Then I'm going to group these together in case I need to like move them around or anything. They're together and I don't have to move each row separately again. Like if I want to move them a little bit up or a little bit down, they're all already together, nicely spaced. Okay, I think I've said spaced so many times. Right, so at the top, we're gonna put one of these little guys. So I'm gonna duplicate that one, and I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller to go right at the top here. I guess I ungrouped them, didn't I? But that's okay. It happens. Then I'm going to go to text and add equals and then align. And I just use a basic font for this because if you use a different font, sometimes the straight line here is dotted and I don't like that. And I'm going to make this smaller, so it's just very little right up there at the top. I'm going to duplicate this text box since it's already the size that I want it to be, and I'm going to say save colon so that people can write in whatever amount they are saving. Now I'm going to grab all of these things, group them together, and make sure that they are centered. Okay, there you go. Now we can change the background and all of that good stuff. So I'm going to look for a summer background. I'm not really sure what I am going to find. This is kind of cute. I like that. We just go on vibes here at this point. Okay, so I'm searching up coconut seamless pattern. When I get a seamless pattern, because if I have to duplicate this, I want to make sure that it lines up and like the pattern lines up on all the edges. If you don't get a seamless pattern, then the pattern won't necessarily line up. I like these fun patterns. I feel like they kind of match the overall feel of the artwork. So let's start with this one. I think this might be cute with this. And this one might be cute with this because of the flowers and the capybara's hair right here and the flowers on the duck. And then maybe this one. Or maybe this one because it kind of looks like waves. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when we get there. Okay, this is what I'm thinking. So the only thing is the colors of this don't really go with the colors of here. So I'm going to try to change the colors. The way I'm going to do that is when I click on this shape, you can see these are all the colors that make up this pattern. So I'm going to change them to match kind of what we have going on here. So let's make this first red color. Let's make it this green. Ah, see, it's already better. Let's make this pink, this dark pink right here. Let's make this orange. This yellow. And let's make this yellow a lighter pink. Aha, you see that? Now all the colors match what we have going on with our artwork. And I'm going to line them up. If you zoom in, you can see the patterns should line up exactly, and they do. Okay, so I'm going to select both of these. Actually, hold on. I'm going to trim this one so that it ends here. Okay, now I'm going to select both of these and group them together, and then I'm going to adjust the transparency. I'm going to bring it down a little bit, make it more transparent, like 70, and then put it behind my picture. So the shortcut, a lot of people might go like here, right click, layer, send backward. But if you look over here, you can see the shortcut is Control and this like bracket that's facing left. If you want to bring it forward, you can do the bracket that's facing the other way. Sometimes I forget which one is which, but I'll just do the other one if I forget. Okay, so you can see now it's in the back of all of my little pictures. All right. The only problem is it feels like it's still pretty hard to see the artwork on top of it. So I'm gonna make it even more transparent. Wait. Okay. Was that 60? I don't know why it did that one and not this one, but that's okay. Okay, now they should be the same. Okay, so I want this image to pop out a little bit more. So sometimes what I do is I go to edit and I click on auto adjust, and it just makes it a little bit bolder. You know what I mean? It stands out a little bit more against the background. And then for my coconuts up here, I think what I want to do is add a box. Okay, so I want to add a box behind these coconuts to kind of bring them to the front and make them a little bit more visible against that background. I don't know if I want a pink box though. I mean, it could work, but I think I definitely want it to be a little bit more transparent. Okay. See, I feel like that already makes it way better. Okay, let me pull it away. Okay. Do you see the difference? I feel like it's like a little bit of an adjustment, but to me it makes a big difference. I don't know, let me know what you guys think in the comments. So I'm gonna put this behind those. If I wanted it to be even more of a stark contrast, I could do probably like a white. No, actually I think pink is better, honestly. It makes it more visible because pink and green are more contrasting. So I like that. I don't know what you guys think, but I think that works. I think it's cute. You can see these easily. I could try to adjust these as well. But see, I don't like that color green now, so I'm gonna undo that. Okay, so that's our first, well, no, we forgot our border. So we're gonna change the border color to match as well. So let's see, I'm gonna go back to my photo colors here and let's kind of play around and see which color we like. I'm a pink girly, so I do like that pink. Should we do pink or green? I feel like there's a lot of green with the coconut, so I think I want to go pink. Again, because of like contrasts. I don't know. Sometimes in my mind, like it makes sense, but I can't articulate why it makes sense. So if you guys want any more clarification, let me know. But I think about the color wheel a lot when I do these and what contrasts and what doesn't. So if you are unfamiliar with that, a quick rundown is, hold on, let me make this smaller. I'm going to put this on the side because I don't want it to block my little capybara. Why won't it go? There we go. There. Okay, so the color wheel. If you're unfamiliar, quick rundown that I think about. This is what I think about a lot when I'm making these challenges. So the opposite colors contrast, right? So yellow and purple, red and green, and orange and blue. So if you want something to stand out and it's blue and it's like your main image, then a good option for it to really stand out would be to put the background as orange. If your image is purple, you can make your background yellow. And if it's green, you can make your background red. Or any variation, you know, like if it's more of like a teal green, you could do like an orangey kind of red. So that's what I think about a lot. You also have complementary colors, which are colors that are like next to each other. So those go well together. And so, yeah, I think about those things when I make stuff just because it's in my head. And I'm trying to like give you guys an inside picture of like my mind and the process of my thoughts as I do these, but it's kind of hard. So if anything doesn't make sense, let me know. I'm going to start with the background for this one. Okay, so what I did just there is the pattern wasn't lining up. So I just fixed it so that it would be like a seamless pattern. Wait. I need to crop this. And I need to crop this one. Because it was having the flowers be like this, and I didn't like that. So I just cropped the first, like the top part of it. And we're going to crop this part. And we're going to make it come there. Okay. Now we're going to group these together. We're going to send them to the back. And we're going to adjust the transparency to 70. I'm going to adjust my image like I did the other one. I'm going to bring down the intensity of that a little bit so it's not quite as like weird, you know what I mean? So I'm going to show you guys what I do sometimes with a grid. So you're going to look for grid, and you can see there's lots of different options here. I'm going to grab this one because it's a 4x4. So that usually works pretty well for the size challenge that we have. I'm going to make the background of this white. I'm going to keep it at full, like, opaqueness, no transparency. I'm going to change this color to black so that the lines are more defined. And I'm going to group these guys together so that I can move them around together. Okay, so what I want to do, you know what I could make though? I could make the grid lines pink, or I could make them, no, that I don't like the yellow, pink, so that they kind of match. All right, now I'm going to make sure these are lined up, and I'm going to group them together. Okay, now I can move around wherever I want. So what I'm going to do in some of these boxes is I'm going to put a number, and in some of them I'm going to put an icon. And the icons, I'm going to assign different values to them. So I'm going to put a ducky. Well, I'm gonna kind of play around and see what I want to put in there. Okay, so I'm gonna put the icons in some of these boxes, kind of just randomly spread around. Okay, and then we're gonna fill in the rest of the boxes with numbers. Okay, so this is 20 with just the numbers that I put in, and everyone can decide what they want each icon to be. So it's a save 20 plus. All right, so I'm going to grab this and I'm going to ungroup them so that I can change it. And instead of the picture, I'm just going to say each icon equals there we go. Okay, group those together. Okay, cute. I'm gonna see what happens if I adjust the transparency of this background. Let's do 60. I think that looks really good. I feel like my capybara is slightly off. There we go. Okay, now the border brings it all together. What color should we do the border? I feel like maybe that blue would be cute. There's a lot of pink, and I feel like the yellow just is not giving what I want it to be giving. It's not as bold. Let me try to grab the yellow from this duck. Ooh, that's better. Yeah, I like that. Let's leave it like that. So again, I don't know if you guys caught that, but if you want to grab a specific color from your picture, you can go up here and go to pick a color and then just hover it over whatever color you want and it'll grab that color for you. Oops, I did not want to do that. Let's go back. All right, super cute. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Okay, now this one. I think this is the design that I want to go with. But you see how it's like not lining up? I don't like that. Why? That's annoying. Okay, we're just gonna make it bigger and the pattern will just be bigger so that it doesn't break in the middle. That's fine, that's fine. All right, we're gonna make that transparent. All right, so I need to adjust this image a little bit. I'm gonna bring down the intensity of that just a tad. Okay, that looks good. I feel like this one doesn't match now, so I'm gonna try to bring the intensity of that down a little bit. There we go, that's better. Okay, and then for this guy, I wanna use the beach ball, I think. Okay, so we're gonna grab this box over here. We're gonna duplicate that. And let's make it maybe just white. That. See? And this is like an orange, and it's contrasting really well with the blue. We're going to make this a little bit longer and thinner. Cute. Okay, so you could either do this as like a roll and save or put numbers on each of the beach balls. I think I want to put numbers on each of the beach balls. Okay, we're going to make it a save 30, and I'm going to do, if I do my math correctly, okay, so that should add up to 30. I had to use my calculator because you never know. Okay, and then for this, I just need the save, and I'm, instead of a blank, since we know what we're saving, I'm just gonna put save 30. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys too for text. I'm gonna add a little background here just to make it a little bit more visible. So a white background, I'm gonna get rid of the roundness and the spread and make it slightly transparent, but still able to see the words better. Okay, so these ones I made pink. These ones are still white. And I just feel like that makes it more legible. Let's do our border for this challenge. Let's see. We could do that blue. We could do this orange. No, I think the blue is better actually. I actually kind of like this dark blue. Okay, so I'm gonna stick with that dark blue, and I'm going to, last but not least, duplicate my little name here so that people know who this is coming from. Okay, I was just being really nitpicky there for a second about everything. Okay, I'm gonna group this together and make sure it's in the middle of the page. So everything is lined up now. So that is it, guys. I will be posting these on my Ko-fi. So if you are not following me there and you see this video randomly, you can go ahead and give me a follow. It's Doodle Dollars on Ko-fi and on YouTube, obviously. And so go give me a follow over there, and you can download this free challenge. I hope you guys found this tutorial helpful. If you did, give me a like on the video. That helps get it out to more people. And leave any comments of questions you have. If you try out any of these tips or tricks, I would love to see your designs. So tag me in them, or just send them to me, and I would love to see what you guys are doing in Canva with your own creative minds. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. I will see y'all later. Bye.